I'm at work. How many times do I have to tell you? Imagine being interrupted during an important meeting by a useless woman like you. Don't call me again. The sound of the phone slamming down pierced deep into my ears. Standing in front of the preschool in the cold wind, I froze in place. The scene I had just witnessed kept replaying in my mind like a nightmare. My husband in a suit, gently holding the hand of a little boy I didn't recognize, walking out of the preschool. The moment the boy ran to him shouting, "Daddy," my blood ran cold. "Daddy?" My voice escaped as a whisper lost to the wind. Was I mistaken? Was it my imagination? It had to be. But the boy kept calling him "Daddy, Daddy" over and over, and my husband smiled back warmly. At home, he's always cold even to our daughter, constantly preoccupied with work calls. My heart pounded violently as nausea surged up. With trembling fingers, I dialed his number. There must be an explanation. Yes, there has to be a reason. But his response came back as a sharp, dismissive yell. At the preschool gate, I had curled up, trying to avoid the gazes of the other moms passing by. Once, my husband used to come home early, making it a point to see our daughter's sleeping face every night. That kind and loving father now existed only in my memories. Weekends became filled with excuses about work, leaving family outings and dinners neglected. I wanted to confide in someone about this unease, but I couldn't tell my friends. I didn't want to worry my parents either. Then it hit me, his mother. She always said with a smile, "Thank you for taking care of my son." Surely she would be able to see through this. She'd tell me I was overthinking, that it was all a misunderstanding. Reassuring myself repeatedly, I dialed my mother-in-law's number with trembling fingers. "Hello? Hi, Emily. Could you possibly pick up my daughter from preschool tomorrow?" "Sure, no problem." Her easy agreement made my hands tremble even more. This decision would change everything. "My name is Claire. I'm 32 years old, living with David, my husband, and our 5-year-old daughter. We are a family of 3, managing work, child rearing, and housework together, or rather, I'm managing it all alone. David doesn't lift a finger when it comes to chores or parenting. I take care of everything perfectly in exchange for being allowed to keep my job. Every morning, I wake up at 5 a.m., start the laundry, and prepare lunch boxes for my husband and daughter. Today's menu: scrambled eggs, broccoli wrapped in bacon, and side dishes I have prepped beforehand. Breakfast is the leftovers from the lunch prep. Cutting corners isn't an option. Both my husband and his mother don't like the fact that I'm working. If I slacked off, who knows what they say? Plus, for me, work is essential. When my daughter Lily was born, I tried being a stay-at-home mom, but the stress of child rearing and housework confined to the home overwhelmed me. I quickly decided to look for a job. Luckily, I found my current workplace. Now it feels like my lifeline. Even with the endless tasks and limited time, I sacrifice sleep to keep working for my family. "Good morning, Mom." Lily wakes up with a smile. "Oh no, it's already this late." I rush to feed her breakfast and prepare for preschool. "What's in today's lunch?" "Today's lunch has scrambled eggs and grilled chicken." "Yay! I love grilled chicken." Her innocent enthusiasm makes this time with her precious. After dropping Lily off at preschool, I head straight to work. My hours are from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. After work, I attend a yoga class, a stress reliever funded by my paycheck. It's something just for me. I go with Nicole, the wife of my husband's direct boss. "Hi, Claire, you seem tired." "Hi, Nicole." Nicole always checks in on me, even though she's the boss's wife. She's easy to talk to, so I often open up to her. "My husband says wonderful things about your husband." "Really?" "Yes, he says your husband is an exemplary employee and role model for others." "Thank you for telling me." This kind of praise about my husband lifts my spirits. I eagerly wait for him to come home to share this with him. But lately, my husband doesn't even wake up until after Lily and I have left the house. He works flexible hours, avoiding the packed trains by going in later. As a result, he comes home late, often after Lily and I are asleep. Recently, he's been returning after the last train, leaving no chance for family time. Tonight, I stay up late to tell him about what Nicole said. "I'm home." "Welcome back. Are you hungry?" "No, I already ate." "Nicole told me something nice today." "I'm too tired. I'm going to bed." He disappears into the bedroom. I sit there disappointed. We haven't had a real conversation in ages. Lily barely even sees him anymore. The growing distance between my husband and me is hard enough. But there's also the constant interference from my mother-in-law. "Hello, Claire. It's been a while since I heard from David. And you're always so busy with work, I was getting worried." My mother-in-law always describes me as a busy person. Her words carry a subtle sting that hits my chest every time. "Oh, I'm sorry. David's been working late, and we haven't had much time to visit." "I see. Well, he's at a critical point in his career, isn't he? This is when a wife should step up and support him. If you stopped working and focused on the family, maybe I wouldn't have to worry so much." Her argument always circles back to this, that I should quit my job to support my husband. Once I tried talking to David about his mother's comments. David, your mom doesn't seem happy that I'm working. Every time we talk, she makes snide remarks about it. Could you talk to her? You know she was an elementary school teacher, right? She worked long hours and my dad ended up having an affair. That's her trauma talking. She doesn't mean harm. It's her way of caring. David dismissed my concerns without a second thought. It felt like he was siding with her. And since then, nothing has changed. That night, I sigh heavily, close my journal, and prepare for bed. Mom, is Dad working late again tonight? Yes, sweetie. But I made an invitation for him for my recital. Lily's preschool is hosting a recital soon. It's our final performance before moving on to elementary school. The teachers encouraged the kids to write invitations to their parents. Lily chose to write hers to her father. She said she wanted to surprise him at work so he wouldn't forget. My heart ached. It wasn't just me feeling the strain of this family dynamic. Lily was too. Determined, I resolved to remind David myself. If he still refused, I'd seek help from Nicole. The next morning, I hurriedly prepared Lily for school and dropped her off. My workday was uneventful, but my mind was elsewhere, replaying Lily's words about the recital. I couldn't focus, and I ended up making a mistake at work, a rare occurrence for me. After work, I went to pick Lily up from preschool. On the way, I passed by the public elementary school and saw parents picking up their kids. A father holding hands with a boy about Lily's age caught my attention. My heart stopped. The man was David. I ducked behind a nearby pole, unable to believe what I was seeing. Dad, can we go to the park? The boy's cheerful voice echoed as David gave him a warm smile, a smile he rarely showed at home. My chest tightened, and my breath caught in my throat. I couldn't process what I was seeing. Was this a mistake? I decided to call David immediately. David, where are you right now? I'm in a meeting. Why are you calling me? I just wanted to check in. Don't call me during work. He snapped and hung up. But in the background, I clearly heard children's voices and the word Dad being called out. My hands trembled as I stared at my phone. Something was terribly wrong. For weeks now, David's behavior had been odd. I had attributed it to work stress, but now doubts began to creep in. Who was that boy? I rushed to pick up Lily, arriving late. Mom, you're late. I'm so sorry, sweetie. Something came up at work. It's okay. We can have an easy dinner tonight. Lily's thoughtfulness broke my heart. She could sense my unease and always tried to comfort me. That night, I resolved to find out the truth. The next day, I called my mother-in-law. Could you pick up Lily from preschool tomorrow and take her out for a bit? Of course, I'd love to spend time with her. My hands shook as I ended the call. This wasn't just a favor. I needed her to see what I had seen. The following day, I strategically planned to observe. I waited in a nearby cafe with a direct view of the preschool entrance. Emily arrived, cheerful and unsuspecting. Soon, David appeared, holding hands with the same boy. Emily froze in shock. David, who is that child? Mom, it's not what it looks like. Explain yourself. I stepped out of the cafe, my heart pounding. David turned pale when he saw me. I walked up to him, determined to get answers. David, who is this child? He's just a friend's kid. She asked me to pick him up because she wasn't feeling well. Don't lie to me, David. This is not normal. That's not true. I played the recording of our phone call from the previous day where I heard children's voices and the boy calling him Dad. Explain this, David. David's face hardened and he realized he'd been caught. Fine, you want the truth? This boy's the child of someone I was helping. She's a single mom going through a hard time. Helping? Is that what you call it? Helping doesn't explain this, David. Why is he calling you Dad? David hesitated, but then tried to justify his actions. She and we've been seeing each other. Her ex-husband was abusive, and I stepped in to protect her and her son. You don't understand the situation. You're right, I don't understand how you could betray your family like this. My voice trembled with rage and pain. David, I can't believe you've done this. Look, I'm not leaving her. I love her, and I love this boy. Then you can pack your things and leave. I handed him a written notice stating my intent to file for divorce and demand full custody of Lily. I will not let you drag Lily into your mess. Claire, I am so sorry. I had no idea David was doing something like this. David stood there, stunned, as I walked away, holding my head high. I needed to protect my daughter and myself from the chaos. Over the following weeks, my mother-in-law supported me as I navigated the legal process. She even confronted David, demanding he face the consequences of his actions. David lost not only his family, but also his job when his affair became public knowledge. Meanwhile, I focused on rebuilding my life. Lily and I moved to a smaller apartment closer to my work, simplifying our routines and cherishing our time together. Despite everything, Lily's bright smiles reminded me of the strength I needed to carry on. Slowly but surely, we found our new normal, a life free of lies and filled with hope. Months passed and I worked tirelessly to provide a stable, loving environment for Lily. My job recognized my dedication and I was promoted to a higher position with better pay. This promotion not only improved our financial situation, but also boosted my confidence in starting anew. Lily adapted beautifully to our new routine. "Mommy, I love spending time with you." Her words warmed my heart and reminded me why I fought so hard to protect our peace. On weekends, we started new traditions, like baking cookies or having movie nights together. It wasn't always easy, but seeing Lily's happy, carefree smile made it all worthwhile. Occasionally, I received updates about David from my former mother-in-law. "Claire, David has been struggling since losing his job and his relationship. While I empathized with his challenges, I couldn't forget the pain he caused. I wished him well from a distance, but remained firm in my decision to cut ties." Meanwhile, Lily blossomed in school, making new friends and excelling in her studies. Lily's such a bright, kind-hearted child. "You must be so proud of her, Claire." I was, and I told Lily that every chance I got. The support of my friend Laura and her husband became a cornerstone of my recovery. "Claire, you're doing an amazing job. If you ever need a break or someone to talk to, I'm here." Knowing I had people I could rely on gave me strength on my hardest days. Over time, I started to believe in love and trust again, not for David, but for myself. I learned to forgive myself for the doubts I'd carried during my marriage. I wasn't responsible for David's actions, and my focus now was on creating a brighter future for Lily and me. One sunny afternoon, Lily and I planted flowers in the small garden outside our apartment. "Mommy, these flowers will grow just like us, right?" I hugged her tightly, tears welling in my eyes. "Yes, sweetheart. They'll grow strong and beautiful just like us." With every passing day, I felt more grateful for the life we were building. Together, Lily and I were thriving, proving that even after the storm, the sun always finds its way back.